All right, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. And it is afternoon, it's Thursday. And before we get into the topic at hand, which right now is going to be deadlifts with a trap bar deadlifts. Before we get to that, I want to talk about these glasses. A lot of us ride. These are called Hercules, made by a company called Hercules. You can literally take these and you can bend them all the way around backwards and they won't snap. I'm not going to do it just in case they would snap. I mean, who needs to be able to bend their glasses that far? But when I bought them, where I bought them, the guy showed me that. He took them and bent them all the way around. I was like, thinking to myself, geez, brother, could you do that with one of your pair, not the pair that I've already bought now or mine, you know? But it didn't hurt them at all. And the cool thing about them, they're great for riding because, see, they're padded, so no air can get around the sides, get into your eyes, but they're bifocals. That's what's really awesome. These are 1.5. You can get them tinted, you can get them in like a self-adjusting lens, you can get smoked or clear, right? And these are, regular glass lenses here, so you're riding, I can see just fine. But if I need to look down and read something or I get off the bike, and I don't have to switch glasses. Go into the store, I want to read something, I don't have to carry another pair of glasses with a pair of reading glasses. These bifocals, they work extremely well. This part of the lens where the bifocal is, it won't be in your way at all. It's never, obtrusive or obstructive in any way, shape, or form looking down the road. It's just here. Now, I haven't gotten to try them out yet riding because I haven't been able to ride because of my injuries going on right now, but I'm itching to ride, so I have these badass new glasses. Anyway, I got some other things I want to share with you along that train of thought, but that'll be another video this evening. Okay, trap bar deadlifts. The only reason I'm discussing this is I saw a video where a guy gets a lot of views. He grinds. He makes videos like every single day, training videos, demonstrative videos. And they're pretty good. Can't really say they're not good. But here's the thing. I love when these guys definitively try to tell you something and they're not right, they're not correct. I love that shit. They don't account for holes in their training experience or knowledge. And I'm not slighting anybody, man. I'm not slighting anybody. It's not my trip. I try not to do that. All I'm saying is that's been my observation. And I saw somebody mention, make a video about lifts or exercises that are not good or you shouldn't do or whatever have you, right? And of course, I think he had a disclaimer in there somewhere where he pointed out that I'm not saying that this is every situation, every circumstance, but kind of more or less, yeah, he was saying that because he actually said, that basically these were not good exercises. They were worthless exercises. And I want to make the correction that trap bar deadlift, man. I don't know what he's smoking, that this is his opinion, but I know he's a trainer and all this stuff. He's probably very good at what he does. I'm sure it's very lucrative. You can see he's a professional YouTuber. And I just want to say, I'm stronger, I'm bigger, and I've been doing it longer. So, we're talking from a results angle. Absolutely bigger and absolutely stronger. Now, don't compare me to now. If you're in your prime, don't compare yourself to me as an old man. If you can do what I do today, you're doing pretty damn good at any age. But compare yourself to me when I was your age. Look at it that way. I'm over the hill and well down the other side. So the information I'm sharing is a combination of stuff I've learned as I've had to grow older to see how my body changes and dealing with injuries and age and all this stuff. And the other side of the coin, a lot of the information is based on, that I was enormous by any standard back in my day and hella strong. I wasn't a dedicated powerlifter at all. I trained with some unlimited world record holder guys. I trained with a whole bunch of world record holder guys. And it's very well known. It was very well known that, while I was not a competitive powerlifter, didn't have any of those aspirations, and everything I did was raw, my strength was certainly respectable. I mean, if you were an up-and-coming powerlifter, and you were as strong as me, you've been doing pretty damn good. Let's put it that way. Real good, actually. So, based on all that experience, my opinion with trap bar deadlifts, and I'm going to put it to you this way, we can agree to disagree, man. If your experience is other, or you disagree, or maybe you haven't thought about it, or whatever have you, that's fine. I really don't give a shit. I'm just trying to share my perspective with our viewers here, our brotherhood, sisterhood. Trap bar deadlifts, I think that particularly if you're training on your own or you're just figuring things out and your form for actual conventional deadlifting is questionable and you're not really sure where to go with that, you're not really sure how to correct that, you're not really sure any of that, I think if you do trap bar deadlifting, I totally believe that it will assist you when you move on to just barbell deadlifting, that your form will tend to be closer to accurate just from having done those trap bar deadlifts, because the trap bar deadlift places you within a perimeter that you can't work outside of, right? So your back is only going to be so bent over, so curved, okay? And you're going to use your legs. You're going to use your lower back. And if you got a trap bar, you're not going to be standing up with your hips first. Hips coming up and the bar's not coming up. You're pretty much going to be pulling. You're going to actually learn what the pull actually feels like. Then you're going to change your hand positions, of course, with a barbell. But if you still have that in mind, I believe it's going to definitely increase the odds that your form is going to be better when you decide to move on to learn how to conventionally deadlift with a barbell. I think trap bar deadlifts kind of force you to almost come up straight, straighter. All right, I see a lot of guys that come to deadlift and their hips come way up first. Their legs damn near lock out before the lower back has really done a whole lot of work or contributed much. And I certainly have never deadlifted that way. I don't know anybody that really pulls huge weight that deadlifts that way, unlike squats. Now, I've seen guys that have squatted big weight in competition even, that their squat form just makes you go, eh. When you watch them squat, it's like, oh, because it's so much lower back. So much lower back. They come down so far, they keep coming down, even though the hips aren't coming down any further, they're still coming down. And I've seen dudes, man, that could squat a shitload of weight, were stronger than hell. And that's the way they squatted, man. I think a lot of that, not all of that, but again, it's my opinion, a lot of that has to do with mechanical structure. How you're put together, I think, has a big influence on that. And then, of course, if you're doing high bar or low bar squats, but that's a whole other issue. Trap bar deadlifts, I think that they definitely can be a positive, productive movement for sure. Let me tell you something. Anything that you go into the gym and do, pretty much, as opposed to not going in the gym and just staying home and avoiding it, is always going to be productive and positive, in my opinion. My opinion, get off your ass and move is more productive than to not get off your ass and move. So trap bar deadlifts are not only better than not deadlifting at all, but particularly if you train alone, or if you and maybe you have a brother or a sister you train with, and you're both kind of, no offense, but a little bit clueless, because you're just beginning, and you're having issues or whatever figuring out how to deadlift properly by yourself. Of course, people could say, well, you should ask somebody. Well, there's enough videos you can learn. Well, this, well, that. Well, I'll tell you what, if you switched over and did trap bar deadlifts, I honestly believe that it will make it easier for your form to be improved from that when you do get to barbell deadlift. It's my opinion, man. I know a lot of people are going to say that's bullshit, but you need to think about it. And how outside of the groove can your form actually be doing trap bar deadlifts? Not that bad. Deadlifts are an exercise that you can hurt yourself. You can hurt yourself. If you're stubborn and determined enough and you got enough weight on there and your form is really shit, you can hurt yourself. There's no two ways about it. But I think trap bar deadlifts, yeah, I think that's a positive and productive route to go. Not recommending them over just conventional barbell deadlifting. Not recommending them over that. I'm a big deadlift guy. I mean, I was all my life. When I was really enormous, man, I deadlifted my balls off. So I would deadlift an hour, just straight up deadlift, and that was my first opening back exercise every back workout. Every back workout. I deadlift an hour. You know, leg day initially, when I used to squat first, when the first exercise was barbell back squats, I would squat for an hour and then move on. Chest, same guy. He thinks flat bench presses aren't worth even doing because they're dangerous and all this other shit, and you tend to flare your arms out. Well, I don't know who can put a lot of weight on and flare their arms out. I don't know how that's going to happen. But you know, I used to have a pretty monstrous bench, and when I say monstrous, I found that compared to most of the people that go to the gym, most regular gym goers, even people that are pretty committed, yeah, my lifts were monstrous. But out of the crowd that I was lifting with, guys that are unlimited weight class, you know, my lifts were mediocre. You know, they weren't going to set the world record, you know, but they were up there. They were up there. Anyway, it's a little too sweet for me. I'm drinking a chai tea latte with oat milk. Oh, Lord. You know, later on, I didn't open with squats anymore because the weight got so heavy that when I trained alone, it was precarious because most places didn't have a monolift. And like I said, if I was alone anyway, it wouldn't do much good. I was left to have to walk it out. And for me, I know guys that squat a ton of weight. I know guys that squat, you know, a 750 and higher raw, and they squat by themselves and they walk it out and squat it. But for me, once I got started getting up there over 6, for me it seemed precarious to walk that out. So the first thing that I did was, and here I go off topic, but the first thing that I did was narrow my stance and start going ass to heels, because that way I could lighten the load, do less weight. If I did 550 ass to heels, you know, that was like going over 6 with a wider stance, just parallel squat. And what it did was, number one, it enabled me to be able to use a lesser weight, so I didn't have to manhandle as much weight. And at the same time, it also enabled me to get better overall leg development when I increased that range of motion. So, and I didn't just jump right out off the bat and go super max heavy and squat ass to heels. You know, I felt my way along and brought it up little by little that way. And then later, I moved on to doing, and I got this from Brian Stoltz, I started doing squats last. So then I would do like an hour of pre-fatigue stuff, you know, hams and quads, and then the last thing I would do was squat, free weight, barbell back squat. And that way, God, by the time I got there, you could cut the weight in half almost. You know, I mean, you could cut the weight down to 315, 365, and that felt like a ton of weight by then. A ton of weight. You weren't going to do a whole lot of reps and sets with that shit, you know, without puking or just giving out and falling on the floor. You know, so there's a lot of different strategies, a lot of different ways you can go and do things. Pre-fatiguing works, you know, proof is in the pudding. But just like what I'm saying with the deadlifting, I'm saying that trap bar deadlifts are not superior to regular conventional barbell deadlifts, but it might be a better choice in certain circumstances, for sure. And the same way, when I just briefly mentioned or explained my approach to squatting and leg training, how it evolved, I think that while you can go heavy poundages, like your heaviest poundages that you can handle when you're fresh, doing barbell squats as your opener exercise is the way to go. But eventually, you know, if you get to the point where you need to switch things up, either you feel that's growing stale, or you feel that that the weight, again, you're by yourself maybe, and the weight is just precarious to walk this weight out. You know, it's precarious to walk this weight out. Then, if you feel that way, then you may want to try something different. You know, like switch up your stance, move your feet in, increase your range of motion, right? Or even like I did, eventually turn the whole workout upside down and start to do all your pre-fatigue shit first, and then barbell squat at the end. That's a real challenge. Yeah, that's a real ass-kicking workout. Anyway, that's all I got to say right now. I'm going to jump off here and finish this. And I'll be back and talk to you again soon. Hope you all had an awesome, lovely, sunny Thursday.